Joining the military, is it worth it? And maybe talk about who you were before you joined and who you are today. How did the military change me? Now, Maggie, that's an awesome question, and it can honestly be a very, very long question. I'm gonna try to not talk for about 25 minutes in this video. I'm gonna try to keep all these videos super short so you guys can get the information you're looking for right away within like 5 to 10 minutes. Fingers crossed. Now keep in mind, every single one of these videos that I shoot is gonna be my own opinion. So this saying, was it worth it? Gonna be in my opinion. There's some people that disagree, some people that will agree. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, their own experiences. This is my own experience. Do I think that the military or the Air Force in general for me was worth it? Yes, I do. Now, there's a few key reasons why. For one, I'm living in this house because of the Air Force. I'm living in Las Vegas, which I absolutely love because of the Air Force. I grew up in Iowa, so this is definitely a change of scenery, which I wanted to live in the Southwest my whole life, so the Air Force has brought me here. By chance though, I have videos talking about how to get the bases you want, but overall it comes down to luck. So I have this house. Now, I also have this YouTube channel that you guys are watching me on, and without the Air Force, I doubt that my YouTube channel would be where it is today. Because when I joined the Air Force, there wasn't a lot of information about the Air Force. You guys know Too Cool for School. There's a few other people that did stuff. I know Jimmy Shea did for Marines, but not many people were documenting it at the time. I figured, why not answer a lot of these questions that I have that no one's answered yet? So I started documenting my Air Force journey before I joined. And I would talk about, right before I joined, I talked about MEPS, and then when I went to BMT, and then after, in tech school, I shot 3 to 4 videos a week in tech school. And I didn't stop because I was obsessed with YouTube, and I wanted to help people. So for me, I wouldn't have this YouTube channel if it wasn't for the Air Force. But no one had done what I was trying to do to the extent that I was trying to do. I got to travel with the Air Force. That is probably the biggest reason why I joined the Air Force. Is I grew up in Iowa until I was 21, and I was sick of it, and I wanted to leave. So the Air Force sent me to Japan. Again, this is my own experience. Not gonna be exactly what happens to you. Not a lot of people get to go overseas. But I luckily got to be in Japan for 3 years. My first 3 years in my Air Force career. And it was absolutely amazing. And I would honestly consider moving back there as a civilian. It was that amazing. And now I live in Las Vegas, which is also from the Air Force. They sent me from Japan to Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, Las Vegas, Nevada isn't like it's not just the Strip. There's so much more. It's absolutely gorgeous outside. It's beautiful. I absolutely love this city. I've also been able to grow my YouTube channel, which is something that I've always had a dream. There's a video from me, I believe in like 2010 or 11. Before I joined in 2013.
I don't really even know how to vlog. Never done it. You know, I kind of feel weird. I don't want to just vlog with a room. You know, I'd like to be funny with a background. I'm not good at like stand-up kind of stuff. I don't know how funny I am.
I didn't know what my purpose was with YouTube. I just knew, hey, I freaking love to make videos, so I'm gonna make videos. And it took a while for that to pick up, and I was absolutely terrible at making videos, and I'm still pretty bad at it, but I just keep doing it over and over, so people tend to think I know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I just do it a lot. But the Air Force has allowed me to live out my YouTube dream, and then me and my wife actually daily vlog now. Being able to use YouTube to express how my life has been in the Air Force, and then when I got married, it was just like, hey, let's daily vlog our lives, because since I joined the Air Force, my passion for YouTube has only increased. It is never, well, I shouldn't say it's never gone down. It's gone like this, and with a few little hiccups in between, because there's been a few times I wanted to quit daily vlogging just because it got so stressful in the Air Force. But overall, the Air Force has allowed us to grow these YouTube channels, and it's something that I've always had a passion for since years before I joined the Air Force, and I'm thankful for that. It gave me an outlet to grow a YouTube channel with. I've also made a few great friends along the way in the Air Force. Now, I wouldn't say I've made as many friends as I thought I would make in the Air Force, but I've definitely made some few really, really good lifelong friends. So to me, that makes it worth it. Even though I didn't make as many great friends as I thought I would make in the Air Force with the camaraderie and stuff, I still made a few great friends, and I'm completely happy with that. The Air Force is a steady job. It pays pretty decent. A lot of people you might see online, it's like, our military makes less than minimum wage. That's bullcrap. We make, based on a 50-hour week about what I work, I make around $18 an hour. Yes, you are on call 24/7. They can be like, hey, you're staying late today, you're working at 12. They can do whatever they want. But there's a lot of salary jobs outside of the Air Force that do the exact same thing in the civilian world. So the pay really is decent, and it's steady paying. You know you're getting that paycheck every 2 weeks, unless like the government shuts down and they decide to not pay the military, which they've talked about it before. I don't know if that'll ever happen, because I think a lot of the military will be really upset, and then possibly higher up people will be like, no, our guys aren't working, sorry. So that's my opinion. I don't know how that's gonna work, but so far in the 4 years I've been in, I've had a steady paycheck every single 2 weeks, and it's not the worst paycheck. Well, if you're single in the dorms as an E1 or E2, it might be a little, but I mean, you shouldn't be having like that brand new Mustang or balling out with this huge TV. Like, you don't need that stuff when you're in the dorms and single, and eat at the DFAC too, it's free. The Air Force has motivated me to work harder than ever. I've always been a person that hated sitting around. Since being in the Air Force, that's just motivated me more, because now I have way less time for myself, because I'm at work, I'm dealing with work stuff, and I gotta study outside of work, and there's just a whole lot of stuff that the Air Force pulls from me. And so that little bit of time that I get to myself, it's motivated me to push myself so much harder and work so much harder for what I want outside of the Air Force. And I'm really thankful for that, because without that, my YouTube channel wouldn't have grown as much as it has, because I do this YouTube stuff outside of work. And that's one of the biggest reasons why a lot of people quit doing YouTube once they get in, or they try to start it once they're in and then they stop, because they're like, screw that, that's so much work. But the fact that it is so much work, and the fact that I want it so bad, the Air Force has literally pushed me to want to not stop doing what my passion is outside of work, because I would rather have this than have the Air Force in the end. Like, that's what my overall goal is to have, I want YouTube more than anything. And it's given me that drive to work on me and myself and what I want in that little bit of time that I actually have. And the last thing that I wrote down, but it's definitely not the least, is I get to serve my nation. And that's something that not a lot of people do. The people in the military make up less than 1% of our nation, which is an incredible thing, that less than 1% of the nation wants to stand up and defend our country. And it's been an awesome experience, and it's one of the reasons why I joined initially, is because I wanted to be a part of something bigger. I wanted to contribute to the United States. I wanted to say, hey, I did my part when I was able to do my part. And that's something that I don't think I'll ever look back on and regret. Maggie, I just want to say that this question was awesome. This video is really in depth, because it's really like picking my brain about like, how do I feel? Sorry, I do a lot of hand motion things. But this question was a perfect question to start off these video series. Now, the second part of that question was, who was I before I joined the Air Force? Who was I after I joined the Air Force? And how did it change me throughout this whole process? Now, this is the part that kind of sucks for me, because yes, I do YouTube, and YouTube is an awesome way to express yourself and be outgoing. But the cool thing is that I'm literally sitting in a bedroom right now with a camera. My wife is back there somewhere, but it's just us two in the house, and I'm honestly kind of an introverted person, and YouTube allows me to be extroverted in a kind of fake way, because if you see me in public, I'm not extremely outgoing. My wife is extremely outgoing, but I am a lot more introverted. But YouTube allows me to express myself without the fear of being in public. Yes, my video goes public, but right now I'm literally talking to an inanimate object, and nobody's staring at me or judging me. Once this video is up, that changes, and people comment and all that stuff, but it allows me to somewhat feel protected and still express myself, and that's what I love about YouTube. But before I joined, I used to be a lot more outgoing. I would almost consider myself like an extreme extrovert before I joined the Air Force. Out of all my friends, I was definitely one of the most outgoing. I would go out in public with like ugly sweatshirts any month of the year, because I didn't care, and I thought it was funny, and I would go out and wear weird hats, and I would just go around and talk to random people and make scenes and do whatever, and I just had a lot of fun.
Not much. I'm really bored right now.
You should come over to my house, bro.
Back of the leg with a little bit of yak, and I'm blowing on the best weed.
Do my sideburns? Is that what you're talking about, Larry? What's going on?
If you have a dream and you don't want that dream taken away, don't let it take it away from you.
This is our cameraman, and he's a beast.
Yep. Game over.
Music's off? Why is the music off?
Don't
The
matter.
song's over.
Don't matter.
He's getting it. He's gonna get it.
Now, once I joined the Air Force and I started this YouTube channel and there's a lot of eyes on me, I started to tone down the way I was. Like, as I said, people are judging you and looking at you, and there's a lot of people viewing me. I feel like because of that, I changed a lot who I was, because I felt like I had to be more professional and have a better image, because I'm in the Air Force and I need to like stand up like I'm in the Air Force and not just some like wild and out fun happy-go-lucky kid. And it kind of sucks because I really do miss those days when I was like that. But you do have to be professional, especially if you're talking about your Air Force experiences while you're in the Air Force. You have to be professional. I can't just be all crazy and say whatever I want. Some people do get in trouble for that stuff. That's why I've tried to be as considerate as possible when I make YouTube videos. Well, for the most part, you guys know what I'm talking about for 2 videos in the past, but I got in trouble for those because I was being unprofessional. I just feel like the Air Force has made me more mature in a way, if you would call it that. But I definitely feel like I used to be a lot more fun before I joined the Air Force, which it's just kind of hard on me because I always look back and I'm like, man, like those are the fun days. Those are days before I joined when I didn't really care what people thought, and I just was myself and had fun. And now I kind of have to put on this like Air Force mask and go like, I'm an airman, and I can't act certain ways, or and I've done that for years now, and it's kind of become who I am. And that's something that I don't really like about the Air Force, is that I miss who I was. But I don't regret joining the Air Force because, as you see earlier, I listed off all the other things about what I'm glad about. But that is one of the cons, I guess, of joining, is it changed me as a person. I don't feel like my humor changed really. Like, I now have military humor that a lot of civilians don't understand, but I still feel like I have that humor that I used to have before I joined. Now I just have like the 2 humors, and I can talk with people that are in the military, or I can talk with people that aren't in the military. But it just made me more introverted, and it made me more mature. All right, guys, well, I said this video was going to be 5 to 10 minutes long, and I totally lied to you guys. But if you guys watched this all the way to the end, I really, really do appreciate it, and you should give this video a thumbs up. I'm gonna be making a ton of videos about your guys' questions. If you guys have questions that you want answered, feel free to leave them down below on this video. I definitely read the comments, try to screenshot a few and get to them eventually in a video. It's been a while since I posted on this channel. I kind of miss it, so I'm excited to start posting again and keep growing this stuff. I also have a website if you're planning on joining the Air Force. Plenty of Air Force information about joining the Air Force on that website, so go check it out.